mini apps. We like to get together once a week and talk about what's going on in the Farcaster mini app ecosystem, look at a few interesting, new, cool apps, and yeah, do some demos. So here again this week with Linda, who's our mobile correspondent
Hello.
today.
Yes. And then we've got Rocket Man from Cobuild. Excited to chat about it. It's really cool mini app.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I think we'll just get straight into the apps today, so we can go straight into taking a look at Cobuild. And yeah, if you want to give us the introduction to your project and yourself and your team, and tell us a little bit about what's going on, Rocket Man, let's take a look.
Awesome. Yeah. So Cobuild is basically a mini app that kind of works like Tippin or Noise, except you're not tipping people and giving away money. You're actually buying people's coins. So it's almost like micro investing. We like to call it backing, but you're basically able to set up a configuration on when you onboard and set up allowance of USDC, and you can say I want to spend 10 cents every like, 20 cents every recast, 50 cents every follow. And what our system will do, which is pretty awesome, is it'll swap into the creator's coin that you engage with based on those rules. And so I think one of the reasons we're super excited about this is personally, like I find it very hard to find a coin, go in, click swap, decide how much I want to spend. Like there's just a lot of mental overhead there. And I think what's really cool about Cobuild is I now own creator coins of over 200 people, which I don't think I owned more than a couple before we launched this. So we've kind of really lowered the barrier to entry to getting exposure to a bunch of different coins. And yeah, generally the experience is really pleasant, and mental overhead is really low, and everybody's loving it. And we've got a lot of cool stuff in store, but that's kind of at a high level how it works.
Awesome. Yeah, it was cool to see this. Like it was kind of, one of those things that's like, a clear twist on these models that we've seen explored on like social token distribution already, right? With like Noise and Tippin, which are kind of like, I don't know, the buy side, the sell side. I'm not sure which side of that market it is, right? But it's about distributing your token or tipping your token to people on the timeline. And this is like the inverse of that. And a really cool idea, like purchase and kind of build up a portfolio of other people's tokens on the timeline. And it's awesome to have like the two sides of this flow, the back and forth, I think, of both the tipping side and the kind of purchasing side. And yeah, I just love any of these products that continue to make the money move around in the Farcaster economy.
Exactly. We're just accelerating the Farcaster economy. I like that. And I think what's cool too is like I don't know, I don't have like a ton of money to just throw around, so I'm not going to be just tipping out like $50 a week. But what's cool is I've spent more money on Cobuild, just like investing in these creators, which I think is awesome. And I guess it's less altruistic, but I'm still supporting them. So it's a cool twist.
Yeah. I've got up in here.
What kind of oh yeah.
Oh, sorry, the mobile delay here. I got it up in here, but if you want to walk us through the demo on your side or share your screen, go for that.
Cool. Can you see it?
Yeah, there we go.
Awesome. So I hope this view is good. I know it's a little off center, but so this is the mini app. When you open it up, you will immediately be able to see basically, and I can walk through onboarding really quick. Let me just go to the settings page. So basically when you onboard, you'll be able to set your token or your coin here. So what we do is we try to auto-populate this from Zora, but I can, for example, put in my Zora creator coin here. I gotta figure out what to do with all these spam coins. So you gotta make sure you're pulling the right one, but fixing this soon. So you can come in and select your coin. It'll show that it's from Zora, and then you set up a budget here. What's cool is you just do an approval, like you don't have to do any on-chain transaction, which is nice. And then you set up this config, very similar to Noise, where you're able to specify a budget. You can go down to 5 cents. I'll talk more about why we have that limit later. And then you have this, obviously, like a allowance revoked down here just for safety. So once you set that up, you'll be greeted with the homepage. And I've been on Cobuild for about a week. And what is so cool is I have backed now more than 200 creators, and I have more than 240 people that are backing me, which means they've bought the coin that I've configured. So you're able to come in here and see all the coins that you've bought, see all your creators. Just takes a second to load because I have so many. Oh, I gotta fix that. Looks like we're missing some token logos. And then I can see all the backers that I have. I can see my top backers, which are the people that have kind of spent the most money backing me. And we've just added actually these two sections. Curious what y'all think, but it shows kind of what you've raised and what you've spent each day, which is cool because it seems like I'm raising more than I'm spending, which is nice. And then we've got this leaderboard, so you can see by day, week, or all time, kind of who's top in the leaderboards for both backing creators and for earning as a creator themselves. And then you see recent activity here. So this is just a feed of like, as you engage with people, let's say, I think I liked 3 of Co's posts in the last 15 minutes, and it grouped all of those into one swap and bought me 22,000 of his token he's configured, which is awesome. And I can actually come in here and click on the token too, which opens it in the wallet. And yeah,
there are a lot of new features since like Tuesday or whenever I saw this first. It seems it's impressive.
Yeah, we've been pushing stuff out, and then I think the other biggest thing is we just added these profile pages. So I'm gonna pull up. So effectively, this just links to like every profile picture, username in the site. You can now click on it. You can kind of see, like, again, kind of the same stats you see on your own portfolio. You can see, I think this is cool to me. I can see like kind of people's activity every day, and how much they've raised and how much they've been able to spend. And yeah, you get kind of who they've supported most. So I can see Jacob seems to really like Six. Jesse seems to really like Jacob. And then yeah, you get a nice view of their holdings. But what's cool to me again is like it only shows like the most recent 50, but I've just got so many swaps just from using Farcaster like I normally would. And that's kind of some feedback we've heard from people. Like I was on GM Farcaster this morning, and Prof was talking about how like all she's been doing is just using Farcaster, and she goes back to Cobuild, and now she's backed like 150 different creators, which is super cool. That I think a lot of people are getting more exposure to creator coins and generally just like supporting the ecosystem than they would have previously. And
this is super cool.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm delayed, but I guess like, have you noticed any interesting behavior trends that maybe you weren't expecting through building Cobuild?
Yeah, that's a really good question. One thing that I spent a lot of time building this week was these share cards. So basically, like when you get a notification from Cobuild, it'll pop up this share view right here. And what's cool is you can just say like creators, backers. You can share like all time or week, and then when I click share, it'll tag the backers. It'll add this preview card if it loads. Might just take a second to load. But yeah, I don't know if that. I think it's more on our route, but yeah, you'll get these nice cards that kind of show off like who's backed you. Let me just go ahead and post that and see if it works. Yeah, so you get this nice like preview card, and people have loved sharing this every day because you can kind of show off like who is backed you, which is really fun, obviously, but more importantly, I think people love sharing that they've backed like 100 creators today, which is super fun. So that was kind of an idea I had after we launched that ended up picking up a lot of steam, and I think it's helped with like just like growth and virality of the app. But that's more of a simple thing. I think the more interesting piece, which I think I was actually anticipating a little bit, was I think Toady Hawk from like Betterment. I remember he casted like on the second day after we launched it, like to his community, basically saying, you all should set your token in Cobuild to better. And I think this is kind of what we've always wanted to do. And I think the direction that we're going to go is like helping groups of people like come together and build and earn together. And I think Cobuild really gives like some crucial signal around like who's able to raise money and drive I guess buys for the token, if that makes sense. Because kind of what we're thinking is like we want people to be able to come onto Cobuild and not just spend money or try to get people to buy their token, but we actually want them to like go do valuable work for whatever ecosystem or group or community that they care about. And I think one way we've kind of been framing that in our heads, and one way I think we can do it is basically like some sort of team section where you can come on to Cobuild and see all these like teams that have their own coins that you can come on and join, depending on like I don't know, like obviously some of these communities are more permissionless and some are more centralized, but depending on the community, you can kind of join the team. And what we're thinking is when you join the team, either your coin is actually like switched fully to that team's coin, or I think what would be cooler for me is like when I make a post about, let's say I join like the Hire team, when I make a post about Hire or like show off some work like related to stuff I'm doing for Hire, our system can automatically pick that up. And then when somebody likes that post, instead of buying my Rocket Man coin, they're actually buying Hire. And what's cool is I think using that system, we can actually like start to build out a nice view of like who in the Hire community is like driving value for the brand, how much have they earned for, let's just say like the brand in general. And I think that's like super valuable signal for like in the long run deciding like how to allocate like large amounts of tokens, because I think it's really hard to attribute like value back to these communities on chain. But I think this is finally like a really low friction way to do that, if that makes sense. So yeah, long story short, Toady was doing better, telling his community to do it, and we've kind of been wanting to build this out, and we think it's a really cool kind of upgrade that truly makes it like about co-building versus just backing creators right now. But yeah. That's
awesome. Yeah, the composability in here was awesome to see too. I set mine to wrapped ether. I don't know if you saw that, but like a little bit as a troll, but a little bit just to see, poking around with it to see what would happen. And yeah, it just works, right? You just plug in a token, and people who've been buying my coin have been buying WETH for for the last week. So if you're a Bitcoin maxi or an ETH maxi or whatever, yeah, there you go, $25 of wrapped ether.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Somebody else said they were thinking about doing wrapped Bitcoin because you did that.
So what are the next like highest priority items you're going to be building out?
So funny enough, I think I shipped this feature like the day we launched or the day after, where we were basically trying to tag people that had folks that wanted to back them, but they hadn't set up a co-build yet. And I think Horsefacts actually replied and was like, I'm not going to use this app.
Yeah,
no, it's totally fair. It's totally fair feedback, because I don't think we should have been like tagging the person that liked them either. It's like a bad pattern. But I know Noise does something where they like, I think it's fine if we, so basically like what we're thinking is like if somebody tries to back somebody else and they don't have a coin set up, just like maximum like once every 2 days or whatever, we can have a bot reply with just like, we don't even have to tag anybody. We can just reply to that post and show a nice preview image with like their profile or something like that. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that are still getting liked, and we're skipping over these purchases because they haven't set up a coin yet or they don't have a Zora connected. So I think that's the highest priority for me. You're going to try to do that today. And then outside of that, I feel like I've built most of the other low-hanging fruit that I wanted to this week, especially around like these sharing cards. And I think the next frontier is really building out this kind of team functionality.
That's cool. Yeah, I think
very cool.
I don't know.
I love the pace of shipping and just
you go. Okay, I was gonna say like, yeah, I think it's good to talk honestly about that problem, right? Because it's a hard problem for people to kind of bootstrap sometimes, that attention, right? And like it's a fine line to draw sometimes between like Do you tag people on the timeline? Like when does it cross into something people want or people don't want? And
Yeah.
I empathize with that problem on your side as the builder. Like, and yeah, I don't know. I think like one, you'll get that feedback quickly on the timeline. I hope, like, it's one thing that's nice, certainly on my side about building Farcaster, but also I hope as a mini app dev that like people will tell you when you're kind of being too noisy with the notifications or not, or you'll notice, right? Like they're turning off notifications if it's too
Yeah.
spammy or if it's on the timeline. And there are a lot of tools at your disposal to figure that out. But yeah,
For
it
sure.
can be a difficult line to draw and problem to walk. I think one thing that could be useful or interesting to me is like just showing me like showing me who I like would have collected, right? And so I could reach out individually as well, because often that's gonna be a one-to-one relationship, right? Where it's somebody who maybe I like their content and maybe I have a relationship with them, and then I can be the one to go like go connect with them and say, hey, set up your coin because I would have purchased $20 or $100 or whatever of it over the course of the last week. But yeah, I don't know. Just want to say I empathize with the problem of like trying to drive that attention, and when you have this huge menu of tools tools at your disposal, figuring out kind of how to tune that and how to get that feedback is a challenge. But yeah, I appreciate that you're thinking intentionally about that for sure.
No, definitely, and I appreciated the feedback. I think that's a really good idea too. We can just show a list of like, you would have backed this person XYZ, and there can just be a quick button to go to their profile if you want to reach out to them. Would you be turned off by the like once every 2 days potentially like having it just reply with a link? Like, do you think that's too much still?
I think that's fine to try, or send it to me as a notification, right? Like, here's your weekly, put it in my weekly summary for Cobuild. Like, here are the people who you would have reached out to.
Yeah. All right, cool. Sweet. Yeah, I mean, that's really good feedback. I like the idea.
And then my request is because I don't have a coin myself. So if it could make it really easy for me to figure out like, oh, are there communities that I can discover that I can contribute to? Are there like charities that I can support, like some way that I can select something? Because right now I actually don't have it set up. I guess I could do wrapped ETH. That's pretty smart, but that would help me like discover like which one I can select.
Yeah, that was a really good idea. Let me write that down. Sorry, I'm just taking notes.
Just product feedback session.
Yeah,
I love it. What have y'all seen in, I guess, like the mini app ecosystem that's gotten you super excited, or like how do you feel that it's been trending recently?
I feel good about it. It feels like it has been maturing in a sense. Like our SDKs have been a little bit more stable, and we've seen people starting to build more complex things. We're in this world where we have 2 major clients now as well, and so dealing with ensuring that things are cross compatible between Base and Farcaster. So it all feels like a step into a more mature mini app ecosystem. And then I think, yeah, internally, thinking a little bit about what's next, or what's on the way as the next step forward for mini apps. But it feels like we're in a step that's way ahead of where we were with the original frames ideas, and maybe even time to start iterating on like what's next after mini apps. So not that we have not that we have that plan yet, but like
oh my god,
like thinking towards capabilities, right? Like mini apps are
I agree. Like, I think a lot has changed over the past year, even. Like, I remember when I joined, like, I could even track like every single mini app that was created, and it was like a big ordeal. And now it's like there's just people like creating mini apps all the time. I think vibe coding also allows a lot of new builders who aren't engineers to make their own mini apps. So really excited by the ecosystem. I think the team has made like a ton of improvements as well over the past several months. So yeah, I guess we got to think about what's next to unlock like more primitives.
Yeah, I think you're thinking about it right. That's awesome. I guess one hard question too is I've kind of been thinking about this. Like, I feel like this sort of idea, Cobuild, like should be built natively into social media in a way. And I think part of like why I think I've struggled with just thinking that I guess what we're going to build is just like maybe infrastructure just for like other socials to spin this up like on top of their social graph, or basically just like going down this kind of route specifically just for like person-to-person backing, is that it feels like it should be native in apps. And I was talking to the Noise guy, and he was saying that like when they were originally launching, they went to go talk to Twitter, and one of the guys was saying that like they'll probably just build this in-house if it gets big. And so I think there's like kind of that inherent platform risk, especially with the centralized social medias, but I don't think it's necessarily missing for Farcaster either. So I don't know, like if y'all have had internal discussions about that, or if you have like any high level thoughts.
Yeah, you mean on the risk of like, say, a larger social media like X building in features from Farcaster?
No, sorry, I guess I wasn't specific enough. More so like if, I don't know, like a world where like obviously the Farcaster client and the base app have like huge distribution, and then they decide like, okay, Cobuild's doing a bunch of volume, like why don't we just build it into like the native functionality of the app?
Oh yeah, so us,
Yeah.
us as Farcaster.
I'm not
Continuing
saying
ideas,
like
yeah.
I'm not saying either of y'all would. It's more just like I think there is that kind of platform risk that's maybe underexplored or I haven't seen a lot of conversations about. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say like, look, we try to be very thoughtful about signaling where we're going with the app and what we're building into the app and where we're focused at any given time. And so my hope and thought on that is that there are clear signals to anyone building on our platform about where the app is going right now and where those boundaries are for builders.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Cool.
Yeah, and also how I think about it too is like even if like the clients have a primitive of these mini apps, like these mini apps can always go like so much further. Like we already have like swap functionality in the wallet, you know, you can like send and receive to different addresses, but it's like people are like building on top of that so much more. So like I don't think the client teams are gonna ever be building like as advanced as like some of these teams that are like going deep down that. So I think like when you combine that with like just being able to build permissionlessly and you know build bots, build mini apps, like notifications, I think that there's like a lot more that can be done. So that's kind of how I think about it personally.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I think if you look at the app, like we tend to build, especially because we're building, a widely used like consumer focused app in the Farcaster app itself. Like oftentimes we really try to simplify features, right? And a lot of times what we're asking ourselves is like, how can we remove, advanced feature toggles, or how can we simplify it to like the simplest possible thing we can ship? And so I do see in mini apps like a great space for mini apps to play is like that kind of power user advanced configurability where people do want this configurability over, setting their tipping and configuring it in a bunch of intense and advanced ways, right? And so that sort of space is a good place for mini apps to work, right? Or even sometimes if there's something we've built, right? Like maybe collectibles is a good example of this, right? Like if you want to build a power user tool for seeing and browsing and viewing collectibles, something like that is like a great space for mini apps where maybe we haven't built the knobs or buttons or dials that you want for some feature that we built into the app. Go build that into a mini app. So in some ways, there's a lot of like kind of symbiosis there between core app and between mini app. But like us as Farcaster are probably always going to be focused largely on that very general audience consumer facing feature. So you as a builder can kind of think about how to fit your app into that as a complementary offering.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Appreciate the responses. Those are definitely well thought out and makes sense to me. I guess, yeah, one more thing I wanted to talk about too is profile tokens. I don't know if this was spurred by what we had built or if y'all were thinking about this anyway, but definitely think it's a good idea. And part of what I didn't like about our app at least was like, I don't want to have to host like these addresses like in our own database. Like ideally it's like something more native to the protocol or on chain potentially. So yeah, I'm curious like how y'all thought of this and like how it's going. And yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. I was just working on this before I was on the call, so it's coming
cool.
soon. Yeah, I think it's going to be. We follow this pattern a lot, right? Where it kind of launches in the app first, and then later in the protocol, and so this will probably follow that path as well. We have like an FIP for this around how it's going to be designed, but we're starting really simple. You can set one token on your profile that will be in the app backend to start. So maybe we'll have an API for that. Depends on how quick we ship it to the protocol. But yeah, hopefully you'll be able to read from this and kind of replace selection there with whatever coin has been selected per user.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
But again, yeah, maybe this is a good motivating example of the same kind of thing. Like we're definitely going to start right here token per user, like really kind of simple way to ship. And I can see a place where people might want the ability to say, like, here's my registry of all the tokens I'm associated with in some more complex way. And that could be a good, interesting thing for a mini app to build for now, until that becomes something that maybe we formalize more. So yeah, there's always an interplay of these ideas between what's in app, what's on protocol, what's in mini apps.
Cool. Yeah, I'll make sure to stay updated on it, because we'll definitely just integrate it as soon as there's an API available.
Cool. All right, should we look at another couple apps here?
Yeah.
I've got them over here, Linda, if you want me to drive.
Yes, please.
Cool. Yeah, first up we had color matching.
Yeah, this was I think it's a really fun mini app. So the idea is that there's a color of the day, and you need to basically toggle all the different colors to get it to match. So if you hit play, you can see like all the base colors that you need to drag to match it, and then it'll tell you like how close to a match you are when you submit. And so I've been seeing that go viral in the feed because it's just like a really fun, simple game, and you can just I think they did a good job with the share card. So you can see like I got like 89%. I think I'm like not that great at it because like I thought it looked like the exact same color and it's 89. And then other people got like 95 and things like that. So I thought it was really just like well built.
Yeah, this one's super fun. All right, let's see what we get here. This feels pretty good. What do you think? It's a
No, you need
little...
more like gray or like black or something.
You think
Right?
so? Okay.
Or I'm not good at it. But they're definitely like
All right.
not the same.
It's good enough for me. Let's see what it is. You're
Good enough.
right.
Good enough.
It's yeah. All right, let's see. 87. Oh, B plus. All right.
Not bad. And then yeah, if you share it, it's really cool. I think that they just did a really great job with the share card, and it just makes it engaging. And then others will discover, and then they'll have a new one each day.
Awesome. And a leaderboard, I think, too. All the characteristics of great mini apps, right? Shareback, leaderboard,
Yeah.
daily game, engaging embeds. Yeah, really fun. Cool. Next one up was, yeah, a new app from Compreni, Trenches. I think we both played around with this one. Pretty cool. So yeah, from the same talented builder who brought you Tippin and all kinds of other past projects. This is a new real-time token chat app. Yeah, and here we go. So it has some like token chat rooms that are all organized around specific token tickers. You can see here, Better, DGen, Eggs, Fire, Tippin, Virtual Zora. Each of these is like its own live chat room. Super simple interface, shows you the chart, and then little chat down here where you can type. Oh, I gotta log in. Okay, here we go. And yeah, cool thing about the chat is that it shows every participant's balance of whatever token you're talking about at any given time. So you can kind of see their bag holdings live as you're interacting with this app.
I really like that because you can also see like if they're a big holder, and like that helps determine like how I think about what they're writing.
Yeah,
I like this
really
one. I like
fun.
this one a lot.
Really fun experience. Reminds me of the Trollbox. I don't know if folks are around for the Trollbox era of whenever that was fast in crypto, but like the chart with the chat.
Poloniex one.
The Poloniex, yeah, that's God.
I used to
Respected
read
hunks in the
that.
space today. Yeah. Yeah, the other cool thing about this is that it's coordinating some protocol primitives in really interesting ways. So you can like in here. Let me find something to like. Go find a Compreni. There we go. So this like is actually written to the protocol as a like. It's using FIP2, which is pretty cool. So like it's actually not associated with a cast, but it's associated with a URL here that's associated with this app, which is some cool big brained, like low level Farcaster protocol
Whoa.
stuff here. And it uses tipin under the hood, right? So my tipin was invoked here because I have that configured to tip. And actually probably my Cobuild would be too, because this is a protocol level like, so I assume, yeah, if Nifty Time here has a creator coin or has Cobuilds configured, this like would also register there on protocol, which is really, really neat. So this
That's
composes
so
and
cool.
integrates in that way with all of these tools that are based on Farcaster protocol activity. So yeah, awesome
That's
to
awesome.
see that composability start coming together in some of these. Cool. Yeah, so check this one out, Trenches by Compreni. And let's see, final one here. Oh yeah, so this one has been around for a while, but I wanted to share it today. I was just thinking, I just generated like an AI image of Dark Grimace before this stream, and was playing around with this mini app. But this is from Dalino. Yeah, really awesome Farcaster builder who's built a lot of interesting mini apps and projects in the past. This one exists both as a Farcaster mini app, as a really nice little mini app, but also as a separate site outside, which lets you do AI image generations with crypto token balance. So there's like token balance that you can use for generations. But yeah, I think I had used this a couple months ago when it first launched, and it's had a lot of progress and a lot of new features since then. So here it is, really clean, simple interface for browsing other people's generations. But the cool thing in here is you can generate, oh, let's sign in. Okay, there we go. I have some notifications of other people I follow who have used the app. But yeah, you can just go in here and really clean, easy way to generate an image, both with like kind of style transfer. If you're on your mobile phone, you can take a photo and drop it in directly. And this is something I do a lot, right? Like I go over to Midjourney or ChatGPT or something, you're just like making a meme or doing an image. This is a great way to just do it directly inside Farcaster. So let's upload something here. I can drop this in, change this image of Grimace to Dark Grimace with laser eyes. And you have quite a lot of configurability. Okay, I guess I didn't. There we go. There's my Dark Grimace image, and yeah, you can then take this, share it back to your profile, publish it in a cast, publish it to the app. All kinds of tools in here for like generating media, which is pretty neat. The cooler and more interesting thing too is that this has a share extension too. So I can go to some posts on the timeline. Let's go find something. Okay, here's a cute dog. You can grab it here, and then this will populate it right into the editor for you. It even pre-populates the cast text, so I can say, I don't know, change this dog image into a robot or something. A cool robot. All right, not bad.
Yep.
Anyways, I think it's a great tool for
That's
like
cool.
this remixing use case, right? Like if you're on the timeline and you see some media and you want to share it or remix it or change it in some way. And it's just a really good tool. It has a bunch of different open source and non-open source image models that you can plug in here. And yeah, stacked with all kinds of interesting features. I think I've only looked at the social use cases for this, but it does video, it does all kinds of other cool, interesting things, and also exists as a site that's totally separate from Farcaster. You can log in with your external crypto wallet and stuff and use it.
Awesome.
Cool. All right, I think that's it for apps demos this week. Thanks for joining us, Rocket Man. Thanks for showing us Cobuild. If we want to find your app, if we want to find you, where should we look?
Check out justco.build.
Okay.
That'll just redirect you directly to the Farcaster mini app, and then on X you can follow just Cobuild, and then on Farcaster we are Cobuild. But yeah, really appreciate the time. This has been awesome, and looking forward to continuing to work together and growing this thing.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. See you all next week. Thanks, folks.
Thank you.